Well, I reckon we'll just carry on now, and we'll have some stragglers coming in, and when they hear things going on, they'll rush in at the last minute, like people that leave before a late goal in a football match and have to rush back in. One other thing that's just been pointed out to me before we start is that there is a sign on the door that says, please don't bring food and drink into the auditorium, and for all morning people have been bringing coffee and things in, and we don't want to upset the IET, so if you could avoid coffee and cakes and biscuits and things in here for the rest of the day, then we won't go on the naughty list. Thanks for coming back after the networking and coffee and chatting to the very generous exhibitors that are here supporting this event today and making it possible. My name's Paul Hutton. I'm Transport Technology Forum lead, or communications lead, so it's my job to get the news out to you about TTF activities. One of the ways I do that is through my own website called Highways News. It's quite handy when you're a comms person and you're able to actually always know you're able to place the stories of your clients because you own a website that reaches the whole industry. If you are one of the rare people that I come across who have never heard of Highways News, we send a daily email about all things highways and transport technology. It's a really useful tool, I'm told, by people who skim it every day, find out what's going on in the industry. You can sign up, it's all free, and you just go to highways-news.com and you can follow the links from there. Right. We now have an hour to talk all things TTF Working Groups plus international cooperation and the World Congress 2027. So that's what we're going to be moving on to now. I don't know, yeah, here we go. And we have the what we've done the last few times, and it works really well. Instead of getting people up on stage and then they each do a presentation or whatever, we do a short sort of 10-minute update on the 5 working groups that we have. So these beautiful people in front of you are about to appear on screen in their natural environments. So let's see their updates, and then we'll have a chat about them afterwards.
Welcome to the latest update from the Electric Vehicle Charging Infrastructure Working Group at the Transport Technology Forum. I'm Shamla Gadgil, the chair of this working group. The past 12 months have been quite productive as our team has focused on enhancing accessibility in electric vehicle charging infrastructure across the UK. Earlier this year, in February, we hosted our annual in-person working group event in Bolton. The event brought together local authorities invested in the rollout of EV charging infrastructure in their respective authorities. The day also featured an innovation showcase where SMEs presented cutting-edge technologies in EV charging. One of our main themes was addressing the overlap between parking and charging and its role in developing EV infrastructure. We explored highway challenges and the need for innovative charging solutions. Coventry City Council, one of the proactive authorities, shared their hands-on experience delivering curbside EVCI whilst navigating complex highway regulations. These discussions provided valuable insight into real-world challenges and practical solutions for implementing charging infrastructure. In June, we hosted an accessibility webinar in collaboration with Motability Group. This session attracted over 40 local authority officers and emphasized the accessibility challenges that EV infrastructure poses for mobility users. The webinar highlighted some innovative solutions to improve on-street and off-street accessibility, ensuring our EV infrastructure meets the need of all users. Then in September, we held a key webinar focusing on refining our group's objectives. Together, we outlined key areas of focus for the working group moving forward. The agenda covered clarifying the group's mission, increasing member involvement, identifying challenges and solutions for local authorities, gathering feedback in an open forum, and considering new core members to bring fresh insights to the group.
Hi, I'm Steve George, and I lead the TTF UTMC Working Group. Over the past months, we have concentrated on building the structure of UTMC based on how it is governed and the scope of activities it needs to be engaged with. We've also formalised the UTMC steering group, which now meets on a regular basis. And this has enabled us to deliver 2 key documents. The first is the UTMC Constitution that sets out the steering group responsibilities and its operational framework. The second is a revised UTMC scope document that sets out the outcomes we seek to develop that support the traffic management community. The Constitution is now agreed and in place. The scope is fully fleshed out and has been accepted in principle, but is currently being further developed to clarify how the new model UTMC fits into the current environment of local authority operations, supplier markets, and related support activities, including our fellow TTF working groups. We have also met with ARTSM and industry suppliers to discuss the future scope of UTMC. One of the key outcomes from the suppliers meeting was the confirmation that now is the time to consider transferring the current UTMC technical specification to Topaz, which is now the UK's principal repository of open specifications for traffic systems. This reflects a new model UTMC within TTF that is less focused on technical detail and more on functional and operational integration. We now have the agreement of both the steering group and UTMC Limited shareholders, as owners of the UTMC tech spec, to open a formal dialogue with Topaz to enable this transfer. We also shared a platform with Arctic at the Practical Bus Priority Workshop held last month in Birmingham, continuing the community dialogue on bus priority goals and techniques that began at a similar event held last year.
Hi, I'm Andy Graham and I'm Chair of the Connected Vehicles Group. I'm speaking from my technical centre, although it may look more like a garage. You can see my connected car, my connected bike and my connected scooter. All of these are examples of connected vehicles of all types and ages. But we're not just about technology, we focus on using connected vehicles to deliver policy aims. So in the last months, we held a back-to-school webinar for local authorities to help them understand about data for asset management, traffic control and for safety, and to help identify priorities. We also focus on services like bridge signing for bridge strikes and link closely with the Smarter Parking Group, as better parking is a solution everyone wants. And at the Elkrigg Innovation Festival, we used equal data to fly a drone to a collision site with an autonomous shuttle, showing we're doing tomorrow's ideas as well as on-the-shelf ones.
Hi, I'm Sarah Randall. I'm the chair of the Smarter Parking Group. Over recent months, the Smarter Parking Group has focused on three pivotal initiatives: the National Parking Platform, the National Persistent Evaders Database, NPED, and the digitisation of traffic regulation orders, TROs or TMOs. Each of these efforts contributes uniquely to the modernisation and efficiency of parking and traffic management across the UK, aiming to create smarter, more adaptable cities, towns and villages. The NPP seeks to standardise pay-by-telephone parking services across the country, offering consumers a choice of apps whilst reducing the need for multiple accounts through collaboration. With 10 local authorities in pilot phases and over 200 more expressing interest, the Smarter Parking Group has begun building a unified system that simplifies parking for its users. This effort, supported by technological partnerships and the Alliance for Parking Data Standards, APDS, ensures that the platform is backed by a reliable data structure that will enable seamless app integration and user experience. The NPP tackles a different challenge by focusing on non-compliant road users and or repeat parking offenders. By creating a comprehensive database of persistent evaders, Alan Wood has laid the groundwork for a better enforcement and compliance. This initiative has involved cooperation with National Road Policing, Tutelage Service, local councils and parking operators to collect, consolidate and share data on frequent offenders, all while maintaining compliance with GDPR. For the coming year, the Smarter Parking Group aims to continue to support NPED to reach more local authorities and by helping to lobby for legislation change to enhance NPED's effectiveness as a national resource for managing parking compliance.
Since April, when we had the TTF conference, we've been very busy on the Digital Traffic Orders project. We've entered into private beta. We've got 25 orgs onboarded. We have traffic orders in the production environment. So that's a huge moment for us on the project. In terms of the technical working group, we've had regular webinars. We have about 40 people on those calls. We go through all sorts of stuff about the data specification and the data model and things that I don't understand like that, but I managed to chair it and keep it on board. We also have the regular webinars. We've had between 100 or 200 plus people on some of those calls. We answer questions. We direct people to the TTF microsite that we have with our frequently asked questions. So all in all, it's been very busy and we've had an excellent time in the last few months.
As we look to next year, The Electric Vehicle Charging Infrastructure Working Group is committed to building on this momentum. Our objectives for 2025 are aspiring but achievable with the support of our members and stakeholders. Our objectives for next 12 months include expanding the accessibility initiatives in the EV charging infrastructure, strengthening cybersecurity in EVCI. Now, with the rise in cyber threats, we will work to establish what local authorities need to do to make sure that cybersecurity is considered when they procure charge point operators to protect the EV charging system from potential cyber risks. Supporting local authorities, we will aim to keep local authorities stay informed about new technologies, regulatory challenges, and best practices in EVCI. Deepening collaborations with private sector, we aim to engage more with the private sector to leverage new technologies and innovative business models. As we move forward, our aim will remain in creating an inclusive, secure, and sustainable EV charging network across the UK in collaboration with our colleagues from parking.
For the next 12 months, we anticipate continuing this process by completing the transfer of the current technical spec to Topaz, the completion and publication of the scope document, and ramping up our liaison activities within our work programme.
So next year is another huge year for us on the digital traffic orders service. We're going to move into public beta in January. So that's the point when anyone can join. So we're keen for people to keep listening to the webinars, keep attending the technical stuff, keep the momentum going on the project. We want to keep iterating and improving the service. We want to do more around onboarding. We want to make sure that organisations that want to procure third-party software can use our service through their GIS software, and we're going to help them, and we've created a little group to support that. So my message for TTF members would be keep attending the webinars, keep the momentum up, spread the word, keep asking the difficult questions and being our critical friends. But by the end of next year, we're going to have an up and running live beta service with every new traffic order in the country going into it.
Finally, the digitalisation of TROs and TMOs is a central linchpin to the group's vision for smarter cities. Traditional-based paper-based TROs have often been slow and cumbersome to update, limiting the adaptability of city traffic regulation. By addressing this issue, by enabling real-time updates on traffic orders, making it easier to respond to dynamic urban needs like road closures or changes in parking rules, creating opportunities in the future for dynamic use of the highway, in collaboration with local authorities and technological providers. The group has shown case studies and practical support for those councils working towards standardising digital TROs and the additions of benefits for smarter cities. The Smarter Parking Group welcomes support from the Transport Technology Forum community, particularly areas for case studies around stakeholder engagement, technological integration and public outreach. Input from TTF members on live case studies in their areas from both private and public parking perspectives, sharing governance and compliance will be invaluable as these initiatives scale and help to build the foundation for more smarter, responsive cities across the UK.
Next year, I'm keen to start to plan what we'll be displaying at the ITS World Congress in 2027 in Birmingham. 3 years away might seem a long time, but the clock is ticking, and I'm really delighted I've been asked to be chair of the technical advisory group for that event. More generally, we want to ensure the business case to procure services and data is clear. There's been covered about things like IP, particularly from small and medium enterprises, finding barriers as their ideas become ready to buy. And we need to show these are concepts that don't need development, they're on the shelf. We also want deployment of AI using connected vehicle data to produce useful tools, not just identify problems, but pull levers like changes to traffic signals. So what do I need TTF to do to help with? Please don't think of connected vehicles as just new ones, as connected cars. Secondly, see that connected vehicle data is here now and the quantity and quality is proven. Please don't throw up barriers like GDPR all the time. People have got solutions to those. And finally, please think of connected vehicles not as being a separate, complicated thing, but as part of your day job.
So there you go. There's the update, and we'll stick that on the website so you can watch it again. And was anybody else concerned that the car behind Shamala might just start rolling away while she was talking? And also the other bit I liked, Sarah, that I didn't notice when we were editing that was the fact that you were talking about persistent evader database and people not following the rules of the road, and a car turned left on that stop line behind without actually stopping, which made me smile.